But ladies and gentlemen, it is time to get underway. We're heading into map number 1 of the grand final.
Starting things off on Overpass. Haven't seen too much of this map this tournament, so it's a nice little refresher in. Imperial gonna kick this off on the T side. Definitely want to be showing some better form against paiN Gaming. They had a bit of a stomp, I would say. paiN Gaming really having a good map against them on Dust 2. So Imperial definitely looking in much better form today. They were resurgent in their semi-final.
Definitely. I would be really expecting something better out of Imperial today than what we got to see in that day 1 matchup. I don't really think they showed up to that game against paiN on Dust 2. They have a lot more left in the tank to show us, and hopefully that's going to come now in the grand final. Very slow start to things from Imperial on the T side so far, just working their way through connector, having a bit of a look. Really haven't spotted too much out just yet, but taking some map control slowly but surely.
Imperial kind of anticipating aggression, holding around the map, but after paiN doesn't push anything, Imperial now starting to make their way through the map. They've cleaned out connector, starting to size up some bathrooms control. They got the 2 sets of utility there to get into either which site they want. And as for paiN, they're pretty much pinned back. They're happy to sit right back in the sites. It's a bit more of a retakey setup on B here. They do have Skullz at barrel, but you do have Hards out there at ABC, happy to play some of those headshot lines.
This is going to be a bit of an explosive round, though, so I want to hear you make some noise, RLA. I want to hear you lend us your voice for the execute on to B. Imperial on the offense, trying to make their way in, and what a shot from Fur to start the grand final. Instantly executed in response, but the bomb plan has gone down. It's gone well for Imperial. paiN, though, are starting to make inroads back into this round. Zevy cops a bink down to 2 HP. Hards out, also low. paiN are taking this one slow, and Imperial are happy with that. They're not giving them anything. Finally, the peaks come through. boltz can't save it. It's on to chelo. 1 on 3. Defuse on now. Can't find the head. Not of the man he wants. And it's paiN that win the pistol.
Off to a great start on the CT side already. Gonna shore up their economy, but Imperial are probably not gonna let that one go down without a fight. They do get the bomb plant, which is gonna open up their opportunities and their possibilities in terms of forcing into this one. Kebabs and AKs can even go for a Galil force, and that's exactly what you're seeing. Fallen straight on the scout, handful of Galils. Very minimal utility, though. They're only working through with 3 smokes and 2 flashes, so they definitely got to be hitting some shots and making sure their spacing is on point here. That's one of the only smokes they have into this round, already putting out the molly. It's a 1-1-3 for Imperial. They're going straight out monster, but denied by paiN. Instant smoke. Good util usage. The CT's just keeping the T's at arm's length at the moment, so Imperial going to reround into short.
Work their way into short water. No one really spotting that at the moment for paiN.
Really looking like Imperial wants to size up this B site. Boost up, denied by boltz. Great crosshair placement from him. And a man advantage now for Imperial, who are starting to position themselves a bit more aggressively in short. They've still got Fur over on the wing, though. Here's the contingency that can open up a bit more A map control if that's what they want to be going for. paiN using their last few pieces of util, just keeping monster smoked where possible.
You hear that double bink come through from boltz, and that's a really promising sound if you're an Imperial fan here today.
Look at Fur. Straight up through long. Hasn't seen a single thing. Vinny was waiting for that short A aggression, so Imperial going to reroute now. All of the util thrown over to Fallen. It's just going to be this single flash, but biguzera looking for info on long.
Might not be a bad timing for him to push. It took a little bit of recalibration.
He's all alone on A, Jordan.
Does win that duel against Fur. Needs to get a little bit more. Oh, a nice bink onto chelo, but not enough to find the frag. Falls down to the 3 remaining members on paiN to rotate their way up. Bit of juggling of the weaponry coming across. Hard ends up with the MP9. He's low on HP. This is looking like it's going to be a tough nut to crack, though, for the retake. Imperial,
all on the side.
Great post plant. Put that bomb down pretty quick, smart, but there is an opener for Zevy. Now we're back down to the 3-on-3. Starts to get more doable for paiN, but as soon as they commit, they get eviscerated.
It's got a kit, but no HP. Single bullet is all that needs connecting for Imperial, and Skullz going to try and hold on to that A1S. Nicely navigated from Imperial. kicked off with boltz. Great crosshair placement, ready for that boost on short B. Gave Imperial the man advantage, and they play the 5v4 very patiently, holding around the map. First, that contingency plan over on the wing that opens up long A and allows them to actually kick off that A execute straight back up connector. So you're seeing this. You've seen it all tournament long from Imperial. Slow, methodical gameplay, very slow pacing. Sometimes it's got the better of them when they're not composed enough, but here in the grand final, I dare say they're going to be very switched on.
Scouts out here for Zevy. Need to see some fireworks from him. Definitely an impressive individual here.
Where's PKL's gun? Man's rolling with USP armor.
That's fine.
Looking to maybe recycle the A1S or the Scout perhaps. I think he's going to be following Skullz around.
Hoping maybe that he doesn't even need to do that.
Yeah, flash one of the boys in. That could work. Aggression from Hardzow into short. They've gone and cleared that out, paiN Gaming. In the meanwhile, Imperial working connector, working bathrooms. Triple boost is tricky, but that's not going to find anything for paiN. Imperial very much set up around the middle of the map.
Imperial have definitely been taking it slowly on their T side thus far from what we've seen. Really enjoying using as much time as possible in every given round.
Good time to get off the boost. You can see Vinny waiting for that smoke to fade. Definitely would have got some impact there, but now you got Vinny. He's going to be able to hear all of the footsteps, all of the rotations on this B side, and similar to Fur, he's the player on the wing that can open up a late rotation into the B side if that's what Imperial want to go for.
Biguz trying to get a bit of bathrooms control as well, having a peek in there past the smoke, not seeing much just yet. Could be false info for paiN because Imperial most definitely are working toward A, but it's through long. Zevy's not spotted them just yet, but now getting that info coming on through already. A good tag, has a chance for another, but won't connect. Time's really starting to run down, and if this goes wrong for Imperial, then it's going to go very wrong indeed. Fallen starts it well, and Fur's looking for the rest of the entries, but he's lost his life. paiN. Oh, they're pulling off a miracle round with barely anything in the tank. Imperial have walked into them, and the trades come through thick and fast. It is bomb plant time, but there is no way that is allowed. PKL with the magic USP can't land the shot. It won't matter though, he's won the round.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about. Imperial, they love running down the clock. They've been showcasing that playstyle on a lot of different maps this tournament, but it can definitely get the better of them, leaving them no time to deal with some of these weirder angles. You know, they didn't clear out bathrooms. They mostly came through long, so paiN Gaming playing those angles from bathrooms and able to scale up truck as well. Made it a really difficult round for Imperial. They're going to force up, though. They're going to give this another crack. They know that paiN's money still isn't that great, but aggression from biguzera, traded instantly by Fur.
Oh, PKL getting a bit of work done in the connector as well. Fallen's really picking that pace up. They're trying to find Zevy, and wow, what a couple of quick shots coming out from that Tech-9. Back to 2-on-2. No team getting a really significant advantage just yet.
Well, this is where paiN Gaming, they're taking initiative. Both of the players, Hardzow pushes out long, looking for info, looking for an advanced position. Same thing for Skull. They're pushing both extremities at once. Skull's going to make contact on these two players, and this is not a bad angle for an MP9.
Certainly not. Head armor on both these members, and it's not going to matter. Good kill for Skullz, and a double as well. 3-1 paiN have started the map off fantastically.
It's a great angle for the shadow advantage as well. Could see that player kind of edging around the corner for Skullz. That's big for paiN Gaming. Big recovery. They've been able to reset Imperial's economy, and now they're back in the driver's seat, and they can try to build themselves up a bit more of a CT economy.
Packed house here in Rod Laver Arena. A lot of fans of both Imperial and paiN ready to watch a great grand final. Down to the pistols this time for the T side. And it's not going to go too badly for that initial exchange in connector. A 1-for-1, I think you take it at this point. Zevy, though, has it on lockdown from bathroom, goes ahead and looks for a little bit more and makes it pretty easy for himself and the rest of his team.
Confidence frags from Zevy. Look at him, wide swing, straight into party, taking Fur's head off. That's a 4K for him. It's only an anti-eco bash, but if you do have a star player and he's going to start fragging anti-eco and getting the confidence rolling, can definitely lead to, you know, just warming himself up, settling some of those nerves. Gonna get Imperial's buyback here. Pretty limited on the util though. You can already see it. Boltz, not a whole lot to play with. Chelo down to 2 nades. So we'll see what Imperial want to be going for, especially with this slower style. They're going to use a fair bit of utility moving through the map and running the clock down. I don't know how much they're going to have left for an execute in the late round.
A lot of util thrown in early from paiN as well. They take control of short water. They're looking to keep Monster at bay. Nothing really happening on that side of the map right now for Imperial.
Ooh.
That is a good start though for Fallen as he takes that kill onto Zevy and says thank you very much for that one.
Cheeky.
We'll play the round out 4v5.
Cheeky angle behind the slide there. Catches Zevy off, who was aggressive up long A. Imperial, another man advantage, another opening kill. Let's see if they can convert 5v4 again. Flash over to Vida. They're going to crunch into Con. Bigu caught with his pants down. Worried about Vinny coming up Con, but taking for granted that he could get crunched from above. Vinny gets another one as well. Imperial with full map control. They're still in a 1-3-1, Jordan, but they're just winning every duel.
Well, that's sometimes all you have to do. And funnily enough, this is actually looking like the best round so far for Imperial in this first half. Skullz will just take a breather here for a moment. But he's going to have some fight ahead of him yet. Boltz down to 16 HP. Skullz will try and pick the pace up, but does flash himself.
Wants damage. Getting his toes tickled at this point, and Jaws music ensues as he comes up short, and that is 5 alive for Imperial. Clean as he like. Fallen gets himself an AWP upgrade as well. That's going to be difficult for paiN Gaming. Not sure how much loss bonus they've got built up, if anything, so their money is pretty cooked at this point, whereas Imperial, they're going to be building up that T-side economy and even got the AWP to play with to boot.
It's been a really good crowd today so far in RLA. We had the wave a little bit earlier. We've got the beach balls out as well. Always a fan favorite. So hopefully we're going to get a good grand final. We haven't had 3 maps yet here at ESL Challenger Melbourne yet, but maybe the grand final will provide. It's looking pretty tight at the moment. Who's holding onto the beach ball? Everyone wants it.
Yeah, come on. Let's get it moving.
Throw it back!
Here's the eco for paiN Gaming. Just one hero, A1S, looking for some damage. Skullz has got himself dualies. paiN Gaming very much looking towards round number 8 before they buy up. Imperial have already got great economy behind them. They just want a really clean round here. Eyes on, hearts out. See if he'll get some damage done, but outside of that, not too much to get excited about for paiN.
Boltz is getting a lot of room to work now into the B site.
Hello.
We'll spot that boost out. Doesn't deal with it super effectively.
That 8K is very retrievable.
Indeed. paiN's going to go have a look for it. Might be Skullz to grab it. Still a little bit wary of what might be happening in Monster, but as we can see, not a whole lot there. The rest of paiN are working their way up to A. Not a bad shout, not a bad call.
Flash over to Vida. And again, you see Vinny and Chelo. Last time it was for crunching connector, clearing that out. Now Imperial have control of the middle of the map. This is very important on Overpass because it gives you the opportunity to rotate between the sites, especially if you still have a player on the wing. You've seen both, I think it was boltz and Fur, play long A or short B to give Imperial access to the middle of the map and rotate back to the other site in the late round if they want. So keep an eye on the fakes later on when the gun rounds ensue a bit more.
Just the one player now back up on A, or, well, hards out, does drop off. I say one player, there is a USP there, but I'm not sure that's going to have too much of an impact.
Just use him as a body.
We do have that rotate coming through from paiN, though, at a pretty good timing, but Vinny, he'll shut it down. Nice quick double for Imperial. Fur's there to chime in from long as well, and with 10 seconds on the clock, they will be able to get the bomb plant down. Skullz, though, on the rotate, has found an AK. He's got no armor to work with, and he's also got Fur wrapping in behind. He's not aware of that fact. And this should well be a round wrapped up pretty neatly for Imperial. They'll spot the shadow, though, and there's one turns around. Has he got a glimpse of Fur, who's creeping on the right? Skullz, what a huge clutch.
Massive half buy, won by paiN. No business winning that one, but I think that's a bit of karma coming back around. They lost so many half buys to wings up in the last one. But this time, they're going to be the recipients of that, and that's really going to help out their CT economy. Very, very creative. Couple of angles used by Hardzao. Triples up. He was having some great individual rounds in the last series. And Skullz obviously doubling up there at the end. Came into the round with nothing but dualies, but found himself an AK. That's definitely going to chip down Imperial's economy that was growing so fast.
Bit more aggression out this time from paiN, trying to take control in connector. It's not going to work out too well for them. Bigu just gets deleted by Vinny.
Another man advantage for Imperial. They're having absolutely no issues finding them straight through the wall, PKL, to even things up. Good stuff. paiN Gaming, though, still in a 4-on-4 without much map control, without much information, but Hardzao punishes boltz. That's the second time boltz has kind of crept out, looked for a pick, and instantly got punished for it.
Not a bad round by the looks of things so far for paiN. Fallen is looking for anything that he can get through that monster tunnel, but no one really presenting an opportunity right here. So 4-on-3 will persist. We start to count that timer down again. Imperial have loved this kind of strategy. Get a couple of aggression parts happening early on in the round and then slow things down as you head into the mid-round. Start to work your way up into the side, but it has cost them at times, hasn't it?
paiN just digging their heels into the side to a piece. No advanced positions. They've got that man advantage. PKL playing a bit of an off angle up on the dump star. Zevy seeing if he can get a pick and kind of use that mid-sight box to maneuver around and reposition and take a few more shots. 30 seconds now, and they're rotating back to B here.
There's a molly standing in their way. Got a HE nade in the back pocket of Skullz as well. If he tosses that into short at the right time, it's going to do a bit of work. But man, Imperial are really holding this timer down. There's not even 15 seconds left in the round, and they're starting only now to look into the B bomb site. This is going to have to be perfect, and unfortunately, it's not. Hardzao is still there, Skullz is there, and Imperial have just waited the round out and got absolutely nothing done. Fallen goes down right on the end there, so no orb taken through either, and it's almost as if they said, hey, paiN, just have this one for free.
Yeah, really not sure what's going on there. You would expect Imperial to be the ones composed in the grand final, but like I said, that's the second time this game where they're really running the clock down and the composure is just not there. You know, you see some of the best teams in the world when they're playing that clock style, when they're really waiting things out until the late round. When you leave yourself that little room for error, you need to be clearing every angle. You need your spacing to be perfect. You can't be running one at a time up short B into the off angles and getting rinsed. It's not going to work.
Yeah, this round definitely left a bit to be desired, I think. So, bit of a chat now for Imperial. I've had a couple of seconds to have a think and figure out what they want to change up. It's, again, kind of reminding me, though, of the matchup that we did see between paiN and Imperial earlier on in this event, where it doesn't feel as though paiN have really had to work too hard. They're really just working through their fundamentals, getting it done, and Imperial's just not cutting the mustard at the moment.
Vinny's on the hero AK, so he's the one who has to do the lion's share of the work here for
Nice
Imperial.
nade.
Triple nade onto PKL, softens him up quite a bit. But Imperial, after investing that util, after flashing Monster, they're not committing to B. They're just sitting with that short B control first, having a look in connector. They fell back into spawn side, and Fallen's going to have a look up over there. Bigu's got so much information on this A side of the map with that MP9. 3 players here for paiN Gaming on B. So a nice little crossfire of rifles.
Waiting that timer down again.
Just that one flash for Fallen. That's
have to
all
be a good
Imperial
one.
have.
Yeah. Doesn't fill me with a whole lot of confidence right now. It just doesn't feel like really anything's coming together for Imperial just yet. It is the map choice of Imperial as well, so not a great early sign.
You can see paiN trying to work out what's going on. Throwing the pop flashes. That's the opener for Skullz.
Yeah.
He's already having a phenomenal map at 11 and 3.
Yeah, an AK that isn't super effective. Now boltz is back down to just a little bit of assistance coming through from the paiN members. And look, great rap from Bigu, but it just sort of feels like more of the same. Imperial waiting. But what are they waiting for?
Yeah, no pace changes at all. Just more of the same for Imperial, and this is not looking like a close game, boys. 7 and 2 for paiN. paiN have got a great economy, and they're playing much better Counter-Strike right now.
Technical pause, maybe a bit of an issue with the headset here for Fallen. So we'll take 5 for a moment. And again, hopefully that's going to give some time over to the Imperial lads to sort of sort things out. Maybe there was a bit of a hardware issue as well, and that's kind of been affecting things, but it looks like it's getting sorted. Bit of a chat. Headset's back on straight away, so hopefully we're back underway in just a moment. Here's some tick-tick in the chat, which makes me believe we should be. But it is wonderful to see so many people coming down to support Counter-Strike here at DreamHack Melbourne. This is, of course, the ESL Challenger Melbourne Grand Final. Winner of this will go through to the ESL Pro League Conference, which is a whole nother level of competition. Well, as you can see, everyone's having a bit of fun, but we jump back into round number 10. And it is paiN who are really dominating this first map.
With a white shirt as well.
Yeah.
That's risky.
Risky business indeed.
Someone probably just made a friend for life, I think.
Yep. Someone also got a free shoe.
Oh, that's good value.
I'm not sure if it's worth wearing when it's soaked in alcohol, but anyway, we'll talk about that later. Again, you know, it's just a bit of a slower approach from Imperial. I'm not sure what to tell you, folks. I'm really getting a sense of deja vu here with this T side. A lot of repetition, mid-control, and very, very slow progress into the bomb sites is pretty much the name of the game.
Oh, paiN, they were expecting some kind of B pop. They were like 4-stacked on this B site for such a long time with just Bigu over on that A side of the map. Imperial have gone and taken Bathrooms control and the middle of the map so quickly. boltz left over on the wing towards B. Bomb still in spawn. Imperial have a lot of territory, but only 50 seconds to work with and only so much utility. Only one flash on Fallen, and he just threw it to take that flowers. So scaling into the site, there's going to be no nuance. There's going to be no good flash timings with the entry going in with it. They're just going to have to hit nice shots.
It's an interesting hold here from Hard. He needs to be very careful that someone's not creeping through the tunnel behind him. It is, in a sense, kind of being watched by Skullz, but I'm not sure that he's got the perfect angle to see if there was a creep in through short. Either way, gone well so far for paiN, and Imperial just hitting the site right at the last second. Once again, boltz this time gives them a bit of a lifeline. Can't get past Zevy though. Trade will have to come in from Vinny. The bomb plant now is going to be achievable, but this is a very weird round now for Imperial. You have a player up on A. That's for taking a late wrap in, and Vinny, he's going to need to get a lot of work done here. He'll need at least one.
It's a good plant for Fur. It's planted mid-site. Vinny might be given an opportunity. Bigu, you can see he's waiting for the wrap through Monster, but shouldn't be concerned about that anymore.
This is the big play. Fur coming in from behind through the sniper's nest. They're not going to be super aware of that possibility. They are clearing the bomb site out now, but if Fur finds the timing, plays the contact off Vinny, or even just plays the bomb, maybe this is still a winnable round for him. Defuse is on. Fur has to peek. They all group up. And again, another round for paiN. They make no mistake.
Imperial with that bomb plant as well as a full loss bonus can put another buy here together. Going to be somewhat limited util, and that's been a bit of an issue when they're actually going into the late round. They burn through a lot of their utility taking map control. I mean, Overpass is a very big map, and especially if you're going and taking short B, you're going into connector, you're going into bathrooms, a lot of the time you do burn through a lot of utility, so fair enough, but they need to leave themselves a little bit in the back pocket to get into the sites, because when they're walking into these sites and trying to take duels, paiN is just putting them in the bin.
Yeah, this time a little bit more control of the party area from paiN early on in the round. They've got a smoke down. But Imperial is paying a little bit more attention to Monster. Is this a bit of a faster play? It looks like it. chelo, he got flashed in through Monster. Maybe a change of pace is exactly what Imperial needs. Another flash over the top, and chelo, he's found the opener.
Gets out. Pretty much scot-free, a little bit of damage. Now we turn our attention to the middle of the map. Vinny and Bigu. This is a duel we've already seen a couple of times, but maybe Vinny's teammates could give him a bit of help if they can come through short here. Bigu not feeling safe enough in the middle of the map to stick around, so he's going to start backing up. Spam comes through from short B. PKL goes down to chelo though. Only 2 players left on B. And they're going to aggress, I think. Hard's out trying to play the off angle because they're out of numbers deficit.
Much better stuff from Imperial, but they can still falter here. It's not quite the final hurdle, but it's definitely looking like it's going to be a difficult one to overcome nonetheless. Already, that AWP has found its mark. 4 on 3, still an advantage for Imperial. Flashes are landing. Zevy does lose his teammate on that side and only just keeping himself alive right now, but Bigu has stepped up, and Zevy, that could have been a nice shot. 1 on 2 for Bigu. Still a winnable round. They're both kind of stuck on that side. It's the double swing. All it takes is Vinny, and Imperial finally have another round.
Dropping 3 guns over. So with that plant, I mean, they can reinvest, but it's taken a toll on Imperial's economy. They're reducing their loss bonus. paiN have got plenty of cash to reinvest here, though.
(8-3) the scoreline. Still salvageable for Imperial if they can pick up a few more rounds.
This round would be it. I mean, some of the players on CT side starting to get pretty broke. Zevy straight into connector. Easy as you'd like. He's even going in for more. The confidence is brimming from this man. Does get isolated, though, by boltz creeping up short. Skullz getting fallen in the meanwhile. paiN always just staying at least a man ahead for the most part. Off angle from Bigu is better as well.
Yeah, that was a must
shadow
win.
Advantage over Fur.
Fur really needs to win that one, unfortunately, for Imperial. It's a shame that it sort of had to come to that, because it's not an easy one for him to pick up, but the fact that he now doesn't pick that fight up is putting us in a 4-on-2 scenario. Once again, paiN in full control of the map, pretty much. It's going to take Imperial a long time to get into the sites, and there's only 2 members to play with. They're so isolated from one another as well. They've also got to take time to retrieve the bomb. They're not sure that Monster is clear. That's why boltz is being so cautious right now.
So much util left over for paiN Gaming as well. PKL's got a full set for the retake if needed. Hardzow still sitting on that smoke in water side of the B site. So if the take does come in, he can throw that progression smoke, play around barrels, play around pillar, just being a thorn in the side of Imperial, who still haven't linked up. boltz only now making moves through Monster. Vinny heading down. Might be able to flash him onto the site here from connector.
Let's see what boltz can do. Has got a smoke in his way. Pops one of his own down as well, just to aid with that progression, but Hardzow is well and truly watching. The flash did come through and force the turn away, so boltz has at least 1. It hasn't equalized the numbers just yet. 10 seconds left for Imperial, and boltz is stepping up.
That's the bomb.
He's lost his life, though. He's gone too far. The bomb, it went into water.
They're running out of time again. The clock, Imperial's worst enemy at this point. Vinny's going to survive with AK armor saved over and $0 in the bank account. So Imperial is going to be, it's going to be a weird situation where I think 1 or 2 of their players might have had 2 to 3K and 2 of them could buy. So I guess they're going to force. I'm not sure. We'll see what decision they make around that AK armor that Vinny saved over. But it's not the kind of position that you want to be on the T side. Again, it's a lackluster buy. 2 sets of util. You got the 2 smokes on Fallen and Chelo. Fur and Chelo rather. So only so much utility to be able to run your map control protocols with the flashes and the molotovs. They're going to pick up the pace through connector. A bit of a quicker round through connector, through party, straight over in towards this bathroom side. It's a long setup for paiN Gaming. So Imperial can actually thread the needle straight into the side here, Jordan. This round's about to get real messy.
There's that quick rotation coming up, though, from PKL, so they might be even able to fight for this one, paiN. Smoke into long is going to make it more difficult to do so. Bomb plant goes down fast. It's better from Imperial. A change of pace. It's worked out. But they still need to convert the round.
paiN's, it's like a net around all of the T's right now. Good boost from Fur, but caught by PKL straight out of bank.
The smoke's actually now kind of working in the favor of paiN. They can clear out that bomb site a little bit easier. As that cover of smoke starts to fade, focus on the bathrooms. Zevy's chimed in with another one, and it's now 4-on-2. Very difficult for Imperial to win, but they're on the defuse. Can't spam through. Vinny, he's not found the play. Oh, yes, he has. Skullz has to dive on. It's on to Zevy. He needs to turn around. M4 picked up. Denied. And Vinny wins the round for Imperial.
If you're going to save an AK for anything, then that's a pretty good shout, to be honest. You can see him waiting around in that one way, waiting for his moment. Very close on the defuse twice for paiN, and I think they probably should have taken that round, but a bit of heroics out of Imperial. Gets it done. this is going to be a pretty important round. This could be easier 11-4 for paiN, or this could be Imperial getting back in with an easier 6. Both teams completely out of money with kind of lackluster buys. Zevy being the main point of danger for Imperial. And he's got Molotov'd off in connector. Vinny straight up short here, catches Hardzao. Doing a bit of movement.
There's going to be another peek out here from PKL and P9. It's not good enough to double down. That's great news for Imperial. They're having a late half resurgence.
Zevy seeing if he can find any opportunities, any tees over peaking that might make them think that they want to go for this, but the sensible decision for paiN Gaming is to save.
Exactly what they're going to do.
Can't afford to replace this orb.
It's been another twist and another turn. It's really looked like paiN have pretty much controlled this half. If we get back to 9-6 though, maybe there's a world for Imperial where they can start to rise up a little bit on that CT side. I was even thinking, paiN obviously haven't dropped a map so far. The way that it was looking kind of didn't feel like they were going to drop a map here in ESL Challenger Melbourne, but hopefully Imperial has something to say about that. 9-5 the scoreline now. The final round of the half could be a big difference maker though. I feel like 10-5, really phenomenal for paiN if they do manage to get that over the line, but if Imperial grab it and get 6, then they're still in it.
Got some Famouses in from paiN Gaming. It's not the most impressive buy. Zevy's got himself that AWP still. So you saw him try and go for a quick pick and connector. Let's see if he changes up his positioning this time around. It's a 4-man setup on the B side of the map for paiN. They're anticipating that B will be the point of contact for Imperial. Triple nade onto the jump spot. See you later, PKL.
You love to see that if you're an Imperial fan. Giving the advantage back over to them for yet another round. But they'll pump the brakes instantly. That's, again, what they've continued to do.
This is the good thing about, you know, doing the 3-1-1 on either side. You start off with the 3-1-1 over towards B, and because Fur has still got control of playground, this is where you can kind of change things up. You can start working that A side of the map. You've still got Vinny lurking in the middle of the map. Gives Imperial options when they're playing this very slow, methodical style. boltz just making sure that no one from paiN Gaming is going to go and retake that B side of the map and get any unfair info. Hardzao just kind of peeking into short. You can see paiN Gaming, they're not happy with the position that they're in. They've got no util, they've got worse guns, they've got a man disadvantage, so they need to make a play somewhere.
They are trying to do that into short. Bit of a back and forth right now between Vinny and Zevy, and it's certainly Zevy that's come off worse. What a shot from Vinny. What a bunch of shots as well.
Yeah, he's starting to warm up. He had a bit of a shocker the other day, I was surprised. But all of Imperial getting warmed up as this half starts to go on. 2-on-5 now for paiN Gaming. Hardzao picked up that AWP. He's going to have to do something pretty impressive with it. Almost Fallen-esque for this jump-up position.
Definitely good news heading into the CT side for Imperial if they're starting to feel it. Hardzao and Skullz. They're going to give it a crack, but unfortunately, I don't think that there's too much of a chance left for them in this one. It is the 1-on-5 for Skullz. He's got no time left to work with. He's only got the Famous, and Fallen may be the one to do the honors. 9-6 is the scoreline at the end of the first half. Imperial salvaging it a bit. How far can we go, though, in map 1 of the grand final? We'll find out soon.
give you all of my heart? And if I met you in the middle, babe, would you give me all your love? Come and meet me in the middle, babe, and I give you all of my heart. And if I met you in the middle, babe, would you give me all your love? 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 Come and meet me in the middle, babe, and I'll give you all of my heart. If I meet you in the middle, babe, would you give me all your love? Would you give me all your love? Would you give me all your
Back in for the second half of the grand final. Right now it is paiN Gaming leading 9-6 against Imperial Esports. But Pilsy, I got a bit of a bone to pick right now.
Oh, what's up?
It's been a bit quiet in here on Laver Arena. Can we make a bit of noise for the grand final, please?
Bit of a slow game in the first half, has to be said, but Bigu's keen to speed things up. Already an opening pick onto Chelo, very sharp with that P250. Now going and taking some long control. The T's starting to reposition, heading back over towards that A side of the map, and you see movement from Imperial as well. Big rotation off the B side.
Yeah, very important pistol round for Imperial to be picking up, and it really hasn't gone too well on the outset. Smoke and a flash they've got to play with on boltz and Fallen, but really not a whole lot there to get them back into this round, but a bit of pretty shooting.
Look at this push from Vinny. Right through the middle of the map. That's going to give him a late rotation on the flank, which definitely could help them deal with a numbers deficit in this 4-on-5. paiN Gaming creeping ever closer to this A execute.
Yeah, Fur's pretty desperate to get a bit of info there as well. He's had a look on long. He's been jump spotting at the boxes as well. Really hasn't seen a whole lot just yet. Now, a bit of util is headed in his direction. He's on a cheeky angle. PKL will get the time to check it. He's instantly traded by Fallen, who's stepping up large. Needs another one. Only 4 bullets, but that's all he needs.
Bigu all alone on long. He's got to go and retrieve the bomb from in front of Optimus.
It is winnable. Not a lot of time to work with, though. And it's a tough crossfire to break. Well done on the timing for Imperial. That's a big round from Fallen. And they're trying to rile the crowd up, get them on side, because they know how important that's going to be.
It's been a big tournament from Fallen, has to be said. He's right up the top in terms of individual rating, and we've seen some great rounds from him. So seeing him deliver in the grand final is absolutely awesome. Still remember 2017, I was watching the grand final in the crowd myself.
Yeah.
When they won. On this map as well, some big plays. Remember that boltz spray down, creeping out monster? That was crazy. Anti-eco for Imperial.
MP7, my favorite.
Yeah, for Fallen as well. Trying to get you on side, Jordan. All SMGs though. They know that no plant for paiN Gaming almost certainly means it'll be a save. So a good chance for Imperial to build up their money. They had a very slow start to that first half. I was getting quite worried about them, but big plays from Vinny has definitely kept them in it, and now they can start to actually fight for this game.
It's a great setup right now for Imperial, though. Chelo takes the first contact for the second, and that is all 5 kills going to SMGs. A lot of cash in the back pocket of Imperial now.
Let's keep an eye on what they do next round. They've got a lot of SMGs. This is basically a bonus round. They've only got 1 rifle, so I want to see if they're going to play some different positions. Maybe a bit of a setup in connector. Maybe something a bit more up-tempo. They can try to flash out monster or something like that. Or if they'll just play a slower round and just try to play a bit more of a, normal CT side. We'll see. As for paiN Gaming, though, they're back on the bite. They've got much better weaponry. You'd expect them to play a bit of a slower round because they know that they've got a pretty big gun advantage. You probably want to use the range. And you're seeing a 3-1-1. Looks like a bit more of a default round for paiN Gaming here. Going to go and take long control because they know the SMGs are going to have a tough time dueling these angles.
Yep, jump spot successful though. Fallen's got a bit of info. He spotted boltz. 2 players on short.
All the way through. Skullz well aware that someone could have pushed through monster though. I don't know if they're or earlier on, you had boltz flash through. That might have been a bit of a sound cue for Skullz to stick around here.
paiN taking it pretty relaxed so far.
This is the overpass default that you're used to, you know? Long control, then you wrap into bathrooms and decide what you want to do. A lot of the time you take in the middle of the map. There's the flash over the top. They see the jump spot from Fallen. A lot of util being held by Imperial and paiN running down the clock themselves. Now starting to creep up over towards bathrooms. This is the SMG setup that I was talking about. A crossfire between Fur and Fallen to try to dislodge here. Chelo's back on the side.
I don't half mind this right now for Imperial. They've got a lot of util still. It could go very wrong for paiN if they make any mistakes here. Fur will hold strong in the bathrooms. Hasn't yet been cleared. paiN will be well aware of that.
Oh, good swing from chelo.
It's very
Actually
nice.
Saves Fur, and they don't know that he's up close in this position, so he might not be checked.
They're going to have to start scrambling. There's 25 seconds left. It's an important frag for Hards out to get. Chelo tries to do it with the USB. What? What?
That's the free gun.
They pulled off an absolute miracle.
He gets that for free at the start of the round. How's he done that with it? Big round for chelo. Saves Fur. Those are not easy shots to hit at a longer range. You could see him kind of tapping a little bit. He reset that spray control, so he could kind of recalibrate on that player at long, and then a lot of damage onto those two players scaling onto him on the site, and he gets it done with the USP. But you have to say, missed opportunity for paiN Gaming. How are they not trading that one player?
Absolutely.
That is absolutely not something they can afford to be doing.
No. The legends of old, it took them a little while to wake up. But now that they're starting to arrive, it's looking much more difficult for paiN to try to make anything happen on this T side. Haven't done it just yet. Pistols once again back in this round. A little bit of armor to play with, but not a lot there for paiN.
For anyone who's familiar with the old school like SK, LG roster, Fur on this map, would love to see him getting aggressive on bathrooms, rushing up into party. If he starts to get some confidence going, then that could be a very annoying player to play against.
Well, 3 pretty clean frags for him in this round. I mean, the ace is actually potentially on the cards if they continue to filter in his direction.
Clean as you like.
Stolen away by chelo, but a very good round. Exactly what you'd be hoping for as Imperial. 10-9. They now have the lead.
Yeah, and that was a super clean anti-eco. You can see Imperial have got a great economy on this TT side now. And paiN Gaming trailing by 1. They've got up to full loss bonus, so every plant here is another buy for them. But they need to start cracking into this T side. The scoreline's relatively close, but in terms of all the momentum, Imperial are miles ahead. They're running away with this game.
Maybe a faster play from paiN. We'll see what they go for. Bit of util being invested on both sides towards the B side, and that's a great shot from Fallen. But it's not going to really work out in his favor. PKL doubles down on the re-entry.
boltz playing around that progression smoke. Hards now aware that Fur could be in the middle of the map. They're going to force him out with a little bit of a Molotov and punishes accordingly.
Down to 2-on-2, but paiN are worse for wear. Molly in onto the bomb as well is going to make it irretrievable, at least for now. And that gives chelo some time to work up short.
boltz keeping them very, very far away. Aggression for chelo. It's great crosshair placement. He's warming up as well. boltz has already got 2 in this round, playing around that progression smoke. The paiN tried to throw out Monster. 1 HP for PKL. He's already done a fair bit of work in this round, but you're going to require more from him. He's looking for the AWP. It's got lost in the water. He's going gold panning at this point, looking for that, but can't find it.
He's got 45 to work with. So he's going to take a bit more of the scenic route.
I don't think he wants anything to do with that round.
Nope.
Like, if he was wrapping into long aim, maybe a little bit earlier than this, maybe I would think about, okay, maybe he can come out, Heaven, and find one of those players at Monster, but he's just holding on to the AK and armor. So that's going to be another round for Imperial. And they're looking really nice. All 5 of them performing across the board as well. There's no quiet member in the server, to be honest, from either team.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we've slowly but surely kind of got to a tight game, right? It did look like it was paiN kind of running away with things really early on, but Imperial have really ground their way back into this map. And now they're in the lead. Now they've got the advantage, and now maybe it's theirs to lose.
Attack timeout again. I'd imagine that's going to be from paiN so they can have a little bit of a chat about what's happening. This T side's been a little bit too flat. This is Imperial's pick, and the way that the first few rounds were starting, I was thinking,
you were starting to
these
worry.
Guys know
what
they're doing with this pick. That T side was getting me super worried, but now we're in a completely different world. This game is Imperial's to win for sure.
Yeah, I wonder if the situation is getting to paiN a little bit. Grand final up against the obviously legendary players that are on that Imperial roster. They have not lost a map yet, but you wouldn't want to start losing maps in the grand final when the pressure really is on.
I feel like this map is kind of a must-win for Imperial as well, because we're following this up with Nuke, which paiN had just played, and then straight into Dust 2, which paiN did very well against Imperial on earlier.
Faster play from PKL, has a little bit of a peek up short. Zevy decapitates chelo. There is a bit of an exchange though going on. It's a 1-for-1 in the end.
Yeah, Hardzao might be able to get that rifle from the middle of the map. He's now got an A1S, and this is what I was talking about. We're getting some vintage fur, Jordan. He's all the way straight up in playground having a whale of a time. Checking out the sandpit.
It's always a favorite attraction. Just gonna hold toward the T-spawn and wait for any rotation to come in his direction. It's gonna actually end up going through the connector instead.
Fallen re-smoking Monster. Just gonna play retake on that A site. Imperial playing in the back of the B site so they can have a closer rotation to A. Fallen just playing in bank.
Yeah, all he wants is one.
He just wants one because he knows that Fur can come in from behind on the wrap. Fur is now kind of trying to confirm whether it is B or A, but now starting to wrap back towards the A site as the execute comes in. Imperial just setting up a net around this post plant here, but a couple of rifles here for paiN. It's not unwinnable.
Certainly not. Not if the initial couple of fights do go their way, but I have to think Fur is going to be a big difference maker here for Imperial. He's wrapping his way through. Timing against PKL there in the bathrooms is going to be a crucial factor in how this retake works out, and it has not gone the way of Imperial. Now Vinny, he's really got to get it done alongside Fallen. It's all Skullz. Deagle came out, did some work. Vinny, smoke on the bomb. Does he just try and defuse in the smoke? It'd be ambitious. paiN have their first round on the T side.
Straight back into it. Getting it done on the half buy. They've had to do that a couple of times, and I feel like it's been Hardzao a lot of the time finding himself a rifle from one of the opponents after someone connects a pistol shot or finds an opening pick, and he can get a little bit of work done. Skullz with the dig was great that round too. And winning a round like that really chips away at that CT side economy. Imperial are not looking so high and mighty anymore. Don't have tons of cash in the back pocket. This is paiN's chance to reset now. And picking up all of those rifles, you see just how much money they get as a result of that. Hardzao, Zevy, PKL, all 4K plus. That's going to help them as this game gets closer and we get closer towards the end of it. There's the nade stack that you saw from Imperial earlier on that found success, but paiN Gaming, not the same for them. It's the off angle here. This is a cheeky boost on the top side of bridge. Just waiting for that short B lurker that you often do see. Putting out the Molotov and going and trying to get that aggressive position. That's Skullz. He's walking in a little bit late. Are they still on the boost? They are. They're waiting for him.
Uh-oh. Fallen. He's fallen off the corner at the wrong time, and he's lucky to get away with his life, to be honest.
paiN now. A minute on the clock. They've got connector. They're going out long. They're going to try and crunch bathrooms and clear out that part of the map. The spam through from Skullz does find one. So Imperial with a man disadvantage now. First trying to play Divider with nothing but an MP9. Fallen's got a flash on the site. So a good flash timing from Fallen to set Fur up for success in Divider could be super important here for Imperial.
Fur with the MP9, close range angle. What can he do? Push on B has been dealt with, and Fur, could have been dangerous had he got that AK back on out, but now it's down to Fallen. He's in all sorts of trouble, working his way around the site, but not expecting Bigu from long. The paiN are in, but they haven't got the bomb plant down just yet, and boltz is able to equalize before that fact. Tries to deny the exit to the site and does.
No kit, no smoke. Hard's out, going to throw a molly on the bomb to delay for Imperial. He threw that from short. Now he's going to reposition. This might get him a bit of a freebie.
Oh!
Look at that. boltz is switched on. Big multi-frag for him. That's impact, because if Imperial drops that round, Jordan, they are broke.
Fans are happy with that one. 12-10 for Imperial, starting to get more and more control. Time running out now on this second half. paiN have to get kicked into gear pretty quick smart. They've only won one T-side round so far.
But winning that half buy has given them so much extra cash to continue reinvesting. They've still got plenty of loss bonus built up. As long as they're getting the plants and they're keeping these rounds close, Imperial are going to be living paycheck to paycheck in terms of the buys they're able to put together. You can see they got no extra cash in the back pocket. Fallen waiting for the jump spot on top of the slide. Won't be obliged though.
PKL's going to start having a bit of a look, so Fallen will need to be careful. He's switched on.
Man advantage Imperial. They've had a good time finding opening picks, both T and CT side, has to be said.
paiN are going to slow down in relation to spotting a couple of those CTs out. Have to work their way slowly through that bathrooms push. Little boost out onto A. This time it's Fur that's taking a look over the top of the sign.
Slow tempo from paiN on this T side as well. Similar to Imperial, really running the clock down. Obviously, a lot of teams, after you lose first pick, you'd love to see them speed up and hit the small side, but some maps are easier to do that than others, and Overpass, especially with the setup that they had, it's going to be a little bit harder to just kick off into the B side. So instead, flash onto Flower Pot, but that's going to be a bit of a tell here for Imperial that this is probably going to be an A push. They're going to just sit 3 on this A site, and that's going to be hard to break for paiN Gaming.
Yeah, Fallen's really having a look, and it's the totem pole to try to defend with. Obviously, Fallen just behind that as well is going to be peeking in and out with the orb. This will be a tough one to crack for paiN, and indeed, it hasn't gone cleanly yet, but it's gone well. A 3 for 2 brings them back into an even numbers scenario. Dynamic duos on both
They need
sides.
to get the bomb. The bomb's in long. They just wasted about 6
They won't be able to plant.
Oh,
they don't need to.
But they both win their duels. Skullz pushes the jump up. Bigu's got that player on divider. That was definitely on a knife's edge for paiN Gaming though. But they get it done, and this is what I was talking about. With how close that round that boltz was able to have that big 3K in was, the CTs are now pretty broke, which gives paiN Gaming, even though they're down just 1 round, an opportunity to actually pull ahead here.
Wanted to forget back-to-back overtimes. Saw one just before, wings up, trying to get the better of paiN on Nuke. They were not able to do it.
Would have loved to see a third map.
Yeah, I think a third map would have been really great. But
not paiN Gaming though, they wouldn't want to see a third map. They would be very tired once we get to the tail end of this grand final.
Indeed. Maybe we get 3 maps here in the grand final as well. If the first map is anything to go by, then it's going to be a close one. Very nice case of timing there for Fallen to just change his aim up and have a bit of a look.
That was a big round for Bigu though. Double entry coming up long. Wins that duel at jump up as well. Oh, sorry, he wins the duel on divider. Force buy from Imperial. They were double eco. They're going to risk it for the biscuit.
Skullz will creep his way into short water. It's not really much of a defense being put in that area of the map from Imperial.
They're all on the B site. It's a big B stack. paiN have really not been showing much presence towards B. A lot of the time it's been slow map control protocols, a lot of A endings. So Imperial, assuming they're going to maybe be changing things up this round, it's just Fur on the A side of the map. And indeed, paiN are heading towards B, Jordan. This stack could work.
But a few members on that B site. paiN are going to need to be careful about this one. Just the contact play through Monster is what they're going to opt for. Smoke down. PKL's already in front of that, and now he's flashed in. Imperial trying their best. They've done well with the start there. boltz are 1 for 1, not too bad. Now Fallen, scout in hand, tries to stand tall on that bomb site. Bigu is up on the toxic barrels. And he eventually does spot his man.
Zevy gonna plan in the smoke. Oh, Fur up close though.
Yeah, he's not been spotted. He's inside of that smoke, and as this starts to fade, he spots Zevy. That's a big kill to get. AK now in the hands of chelo as well. Bigu's gonna have to pull off another very nice round. 1 on 2 for him to clutch out.
No kit. It's not planning for him, Jordan.
Yeah, plans it behind the pillar. He spotted the player there, but does not know where the second is. There's no peek coming through just yet. Fur, he's going to sit it. It's a 10-second defuse. Bigu's got time to work with. He's got to creep his way forward. Doesn't get chelo.
Great call from Imperial. They were on that double eco. Money is absolutely in the bin, and they just risk it. They leave Fur on that A side of the map, and they stack B. And it's worked out beautifully for them. Like I said, paiN Gaming, it's been a lot of defaulting into A endings, and Imperial just knowing that at some point they're going to mix it up.
Yeah, 13-11. It's really coming down to the wire now for paiN. If they've got anything left to throw at this event on this map, it's going to have to happen now.
PKL straight up short. Hand in hand with Skullz. They might even aggress into short here and look for a pick on the B side. Rotation's pretty heavy from Imperial here. Fur right back, and it's going to be a B hit.
Skullz and PKL leading the charge. One of them already dispatched of. Imperial holds strong. They force them back. Put a bit of counter util down.
I feel like this is a read. Imperial have seen some util that they know makes it a B hit. You saw a very early rotation. Both Fur and Fallen instant rotation off that A site. Fur right back in the back of the site. Imperial knows something about paiN Gaming. They knew that that B hit was coming.
Still a lot of time left for paiN though. They had a really, really early attempt at B. Now they're going to have a second attempt as Skullz works his way up off the back of that molly into toxic barrels. Vinny, cleaning a couple up with the assistance of chelo. This is going perfectly for Imperial. 2 on 1 now, and Bigu again is tasked with that clutch. 3 HP for Vinny, but he's just up above that smoke. It's going to be a difficult angle to clear out. It's down to 1 HP.
Chelo in short. It's a great angle. He can just wait for the plant. He doesn't need to rush anything. Bigu's the one who has to make a move here.
Hasn't even collected the bomb yet, so he can't really even think about going up into A. It would have been possible with 20-30 seconds on the clock, but now he's going to have to commit to B, and with that, he's pretty much lost the round. chelo spotted him. 14-11 on the board now for Imperial.
This Overpass pick is working out for them. That was a very good rotation over to the B site. Great B stack, great rotation early on, and good counter utility. Just shut down that execute before it even got rolling for paiN Gaming.
Backs against the wall for the first time in this event, paiN, really, it feels like. Obviously, they did have to get through that OT against Wings Up, but it was just the one round that they had to push in OT, and then from there, it sort of felt like it was theirs to control. Now they've got to work back a bunch of rounds. Money's not been looking good. T-side's not been looking good. I say this is the highest pressure scenario paiN have actually faced so far at ESL Challenger. We'll see whether or not they're going to crack under that pressure.
Just see it. Imperial just swarming straight into that site. They had great rotation timings. Even though they were quite deep on bathrooms, they just booked it straight over that A site, back down in towards Maze. paiN with another buy though. Loss bonus is building up for them, and every time they get a plant, they can kind of reinvest. Imperial dropping a lot of guns themselves. These are coming down to clutch rounds, so both teams going to be pretty broke if this doesn't go their way. Another 3-1-1 for paiN to kick things off. Skullz keeping an eye on Monster. You've got Hard Zao and Connector, and the other three working as a pack, trying to get some map control. They're going once again out long A. Fur will hear this flash, and he knows that at some point, someone's going to be scaling up. He's trying to use that shadow advantage to be able to win an opening duel. Flash from Bigu. Trying to make Fur potentially nervous, and Fur actually fires a couple of bullets off that flash, so that's information for paiN Gaming. They know the setup of Imperial. They know that Fur's in bathrooms.
Well, Fur's not going to be in bathrooms for too much longer. He is exiting alongside Fallen back into the A site.
This is a flash from Monster. This is how you work a 3-1-1 into going back to short B control. Flash over the top from Skullz. Re-aggression from Imperial here.
Yeah, ballsy play from them, but they found that timing perfectly. Fallen is getting so far forward. Zevy round the corner, loses his head. Skullz, a good trade, but it does cost the lion's share of his HP. That's the big one. From hard down, now it's chelo, a third player in the bathrooms. They weren't expecting that. Imperial poised to go to 15. They missed out on it for now.
Traded back from PKL though. Bigu once again has to probably have some pretty big impact coming out long. PKL trying to get to Optimus so he can get that plant down. Flanked from Vinny only with an MP9.
Yeah, he's relatively slow through the connector and not going to be able to deny the bomb plant by any stretch of the imagination. boltz, he's just trying to do a bit of distraction. It's not gone well for him at all because PKL's just decided to take that fight. Now it's Vinny, only with an MP9. Low HP players on the other side, but it doesn't matter. paiN survive.
Connected a couple of shots. Thought he was going to make that raw adjustment onto the player jump up's head. Even with the MP9, he was trying to tap away. But that's big from paiN Gaming. That's the second time they've hard reset Imperial, who will once again have to force and take a risk. It worked out for them last time. That B stack was ingenious, you know, put them back in the pole position, and it's what's kind of allowed them to forge this comeback on the CT side. But again, paiN Gaming have won that reset round and put themselves in a better position economically for the foreseeable future, even though they're trailing with rounds. This is a very winnable game for them. They just got to deal with the force buy this time, and again, it's a B stack from Imperial. Nothing changed up at all. Fur in the exact same position, keeping tabs, keeping an eye on that A site, and the rest of Imperial hoping that paiN Gaming will go and take B. But paiN Gaming, you can see them working the default right now. Map control protocols from Zevy. He's throwing all of the util, molly to party, smoke to front bathrooms, flash over the top. There again is the flash from Skullz to send the boys out of connector into short B. So paiN Gaming have got pretty good map control, pretty good info around the map. They've got control of the middle of the map. They can do whatever they want from here. They just have a little bit limited util, no mollies to clear out annoying positions. They've just got to get it done with smokes and flashes. And this time they're going for the A ending, Jordan.
Slow and steady wins the race. That has been the mantra for both of these Brazilian teams on the T side of Overpass. 45 seconds left. paiN only now just starting to pick the pace up, running their way down
Look at the rotation though.
It's a good call from Imperial.
Are they committing to it? They're kind of bumbling around in maze. They're staying at B.
I thought they were going to go back up to A, but yeah, they've opted to stay down on B. It leaves Fur solo. He's going to have to go absolutely animal with this CZ. It's a good start for him, though. He's got more left. Can't really get it done this time. That could have been scary for paiN.
17 seconds. CT's going to try and scale through this smoke, I think. They got no flashes. Oh no, flash from Vinny over the top.
Still no progression out onto the bomb site from Imperial yet.
That was their last flash. I thought they were going to try to flood off the back of that, but I think they're just setting up for exits, Jordan. I don't think they wanted to try and retake the site there. They need to hold on to these weapons, try and give themselves an outside shot at winning that next round and keep doing damage. Because if they throw it away here, they're rolling into the next round with nothing but USPs.
Might be another great escape from paiN.
Very tense game, this one. Slow pacing from both teams on the T side. We're leaving it down to the last, 30, 40 seconds.
13-14 now. paiN get one step closer to equalizing against Imperial. Grand final of ESL Challenger Melbourne. It would be a big one to pick up map 1. Both of these two teams.
It's been a great event. I mean, both of these teams started in the same group.
Yep.
With a bunch of Aussie teams.
Which I think most people
how that went.
would have said was actually the weaker group going into it. You didn't have OG, you didn't have Entropic, both of the favorites got knocked out at the tournament.
I mean, I'm going to be honest. I looked at this tournament, I said OG Entropic Grand Final.
Me too.
100%. This is why I'm not on the analyst desk in Sweden, Jordan. Got no idea.
That must be the only reason.
Got no bloody idea. What's going on?
This is a cheeky little angle for chelo. It's going to be tough to hit a shot in a circumstance like this.
Imperial, they want to fight in the middle of the map and over towards long, just relying on those two-man setups. Vinny retake on B. paiN will almost certainly run into one of these setups at some point. Bigu, has he seen that? I feel like he's seen that. This is not a molly you would usually throw. I feel like he's Jump spotted. Yeah, Molly over the tree. That's interesting.
Oh.
Flash over the top.
Well, maybe it's going to come down to Fallen with that scout. Never mind. Zevy, he is just too good.
They're just going to leave. They want absolutely nothing to do with Long A there. Head back towards his B side of that. Vinny's still over here. Keeping an eye on first rotation. He has checked Long A. He's actually going to go push Long A and look for info. boltz is still in the middle of the map, so could flank through short.
Here we go, out monster. Vinny with a 5-7. What can he do? Close range, pistol in hand. He's overwhelmed. Hardtail does actually die to his teammates, Molly, but all things considered, not a bad passage of play for paiN. They'll equalize at 14-14 and put that pressure right back on Imperial.
Yep. Fer looking for any exits he can get with the scout. And although Imperial was ahead, make no mistake, paiN Gaming is favored here. They're going to go 14-14 with good enough money to buy into the last 2 rounds, no matter what. Imperial, however, they're going to have this one buy coming up next where they're between, 4 to 5k. It's not the best buy in the world. They might have to skip a couple pieces of utility, a kit, who knows if they'll get an AWP. That's going to be a little bit difficult to work with, and if they lose this next round, that could be an easier conversion for paiN. Because they're going to be at, the 3 to 3.5k kind of score money. So that's going to be a little bit difficult to put a buy together. First found himself an AK at the end of the round, though. That's something worth mentioning. Bit more one-shot potential. And is going to shore up their buy into the next if they lose by a tiny bit, not by a lot.
A lot of stuff from Zevy in that last round. Even got 3 kills. One of them, unfortunately, was his teammate. But hey, we won't remember that. 14 apiece. Comes down to the wire in map 1 of the grand final.
This is the important round. Especially for Imperial. A must win if they want to buy up fully into the next. And you can already see it. We're 1 minute 40 into this round. We've got no mollies at all. We're burning through a fair few smokes. The util is much lighter on the CT side than the T side. paiN Gaming working the middle of the map, working bathrooms. Little bit of util pressure from Skullz, little bit of spam. But this looks more like an A ending to me, if anything. They can still go for a late rotation in B, but it's harder when you don't have that player in short. So this is almost certainly going to be an A ending. 2-man setup over towards long is a crossfire that paiN Gaming will have to dislodge. Chelo up on the side as well. He's going to get caught throwing the monster smoke. You don't see that too often.
Yeah, paiN have just walked their way through the entire map and said, thank you very much for that one. It's a freebie. It's brought the ants scurrying back up to A now. Imperial trying to send as many members as they can. That big swing from Fer, but does that not give away the game? Fallen hid tight in the corner, gets himself a freebie. It's not enough though. paiN are doing exactly what they need to do to get through this round and get through this map. Imperial were leading, it was their game to lose, and now they may be on the precipice of doing that. A 2-on-3 for Fallen and boltz to secure.
Fallen has a smoke and a kit, so if he gets on site, like he could try and go for a bit of a smoke defuse.
He's getting wrapped upon by Bigu though, and the timing's not going to work out for him at all. boltz will elect to save the M4. It's a big round to win for paiN though. They're going to go up to 15. Yeah, they'll lose Hardtail, but they'll call that mission successful.
2 HP for boltz. I was really worried he was going to die there after going for the exit, which would not have been worth it by any stretch of the imagination, but he's alive. And this is what I was saying, paiN Gaming now with map point in the grand final and a much better buy than their opponents. Imperial, they're going to have to dig through the scraps in the bin and see what they can put together. It's a couple A1Ss, Fallen's on 3k, he's down to a FAMAS. Util's light, you got 1 kit on Chelo and that's it. And paiN Gaming with absolutely everything that they could need to win the first map of this grand final.
Yeah, paiN have been good in the pressure situations. Got a lot of high-impact players on their side of the field as well. This game, it's really been Bigu and Skullz. We've seen really good, impressive performances from actually all 5 so far in ESL Challenger Melbourne. Right now, they are proving why maybe they deserve to be crowned the champions here in Melbourne.
I think with Skullz outside and Monster here, if they still have a bit of connector control, you may see, again, that short B control from paiN Gaming. But it seems like a B ending this time around. PKL applying util pressure over towards bathrooms just to keep the information game honest, just to keep Imperial worried about that A ending that just worked in the last round. You got Hearts out, clearing out Connector, clearing out the middle of the map. Surely will be flashed in by one of the players from Monster, or they'll just link up with him through short. What do they got on B here for Imperial? Vinny's got a molly and a smoke and an MP9. And just the A1 is the boltz. That's what they got to use to hold. Chelo's got no counter utility as this Exy comes in.
I'm not confident in that hold right now. Imperial, this could just be broken apart so easily. Fights are being won, though, by the CT side, and Imperial, they're holding on. They want overtime.
That rotation time from chelo was massive.
Yep, if it was just the two players toward Monster side, it would have been done and dusted. Zevy's gone. It's 15-15. Back-to-back overtimes.
Massive resurgence there. They were very unfavored in that round, Imperial, with the util that they had, but they made it work. It was a beautiful rotation from chelo that made the difference. He came over to ABC and got that triple up. Without that, there is no way in hell Imperial can take that round.
That same old feeling. Don't know what's right or wrong. Searching for meaning. I've been thinking about it way too long. So whatever you're longing for, don't give up along the way. Just don't give up along the way, you know, and cherish the moment. Come on up and just let go. Come on up and just let go. No more competing. Bound to your inner voice, yeah. Things seem misleading. Just until you stop and make your choice. So whatever you long for, don't give up along the way. Just don't give up along the way, you know, and cherish the moment. Come on up and just let go. Come on up and just let go. Let it 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 go.
One night together, I can feel the fire. One night together, baby, take me higher. You've taken all my love. I just want to feel your touch, yeah. Oh, it's one night together, baby, take me higher.
Here we go again into the overtime. It's the grand final of ESL Challenger Melbourne, and paiN Gaming will not go down without a fight, nor will Imperial by the looks of things. Both teams really neck and neck here on the first map of Overpass. It's Imperial's choice. They're starting on the CT side in OT.
This is where things get a little bit difficult for you as paiN, though, because a lot of the time you've been playing against low buys, you've been playing against forces, not too much of the AWP. Now on the T side, you have a little bit of a different challenge because the CTs are given money in overtime. They now have AWP, maybe even double AWP, and much more utility than you were playing against previously. So you have to kind of navigate around that a little bit differently.
Speaking of the AWP, there's the first shot out from Fallen.
That molly's not quite hit the mark.
No.
Skullz, again, you've seen him time and time outside of Monster, just flashing, applying pressure, maybe helping one of the blokes come out connector, but seeing him a bit more of an early rotation off of B does indicate that it's probably going to be an A-side hit at the end of the round for paiN. They're already grouping up towards bathrooms, and here's Fur. We'll keep an eye on Fallen's flash timing for him. Flash goes over Divider just to unsettle the Ts, but this second one is going to be the main one that you have to keep an eye on with chelo over here as well. The CTs want to fight here.
Fur loves this position, has been hiding there on the CT side all game.
This setup is filthy from Imperial right now. Very heavy in towards bathrooms. It's going to be a mess.
Fallen gonna have a bit of a quick peek, finds Hards out, is instantly traded, but Fur can't get much done. PKL, massive double entry to start off the OT. Bomb plant's going down for paiN. And Imperial, with only the 2 members left, are not looking to be in a great spot.
Yeah, great spacing from paiN. Not caught out by that at all. They are executing the site, but they're making sure that their spacing is on point, that they're checking all of those close angles, not letting the pressure get to them too much, just making sure they're staying methodical on this T side. That's going to be the first round for them. You've seen great stuff from time and time again from paiN, clearing out the map, running this default, and they have definitely a variety of endings on this A and B site in different manners that have both been successful. So their options are well and truly open for them. Binny going to take one with him. Doesn't really make too much of a difference outside the fact that he now has 1 tap potential with that AK in the next round.
Could make a lot of difference next round if he does actually put that to good use. But you're right, there'll still be a buy out from both the T and CT side.
Definitely a different vibe between the second semi-final and this grand final. This grand final's been slow, methodical CS, very utility-based, setting up, making sure that you're checking all the right things, that you're min-maxing your chances. And the semi-final was, I mean, chuck a Chinese team in there, that's an absolute mess, but we love it.
Well, they didn't make it to the grand final, and there might be a reason for that. paiN looking like one of the strongest teams here, maybe the strongest team. Fallen has started off with a nice pick, though, in this round. Make the job a little more difficult for paiN.
He's actually been excellent in terms of the opening duels. I think he's like 8-1 in opening duels, and that will probably be a 9-1 for him.
Yeah, make that a 9-1.
Overall.
Fur stuck in the cutout, but looks like he'll find that timing onto Hard, who was not expecting a peek from that angle. So 2-player advantage for Imperial as we head into the mid-round.
Still got the middle of the map. Fur's over here. Always a bit of a thorn in the side when he's getting aggressive on the CT side rifle, but with man advantages, he doesn't feel the need to stick around too much. Gonna spot out PKL though. He's kind of in no man's land, so he does lose a duel, but look, he takes a lot of HP away from PKL.
Yep.
Secondary AWP, actually, I didn't see this from Imperial, but chelo earlier on the second AWP. Hadn't seen it too much previously, but he was doing some damage on Dust 2, I think it was.
Not even going to be required to really do too much work in this round, you'd think. Already got the player advantage. paiN have put that timer down to only 30 seconds, so they're going to be really scrambling when they get their way into this bomb site. All it's really going to take is one pick here from chelo, and maybe that's going to be that. Fallen also liable to grab one at this point in time. Doesn't miss that often in the pressure scenarios, but this time it does go awry. chelo, though, did get one, so put that pressure back onto paiN. Time is now really causing a problem for them. They have to get the plant down. They'll be able to do it. Oh, no, they won't. He failed the jump up onto the truck. And that's a very disappointing way to go out of that round for paiN.
It didn't look good for them anyway, to be fair. Even if they get in the post plant there, they've got absolutely no room to work with. They got to basically fight out from Optimus, and from that point, you're talking about some very crisp one-taps, big multi-frag, big play. Doesn't happen all the time. One apiece though in the first overtime here. We'll see who's going to take the majority. paiN Gonna crack in with another T-side round before they switch back over, and this time very big emphasis over towards this B-side. It's gonna be a quick one out.
It's the
Monster.
fast play. I'm not sure that it's going to work out. boltz has already spotted the first, and now a wave of utility is headed in the direction of paiN, trying to get out of Monster. Molly after molly after molly. Grenades, flashes over the top there as well, and they're just held at bay. Another molly. This one goes into the smoke, but there's a peek as well from boltz to make matters worse for paiN.
Zevy inside of the monster smoke, gonna be sent out by a flash on the timing if possible. Trying to make a play for paiN Gaming here.
How many times are we going to see that happen in this round? Fur creeping in behind. Does manage to find the head of Hard after a little bit of an attempt, but 17-16 is the scoreline at the half. It's a good beginning to the OT for Imperial.
Gonna swap back out now and send Imperial over towards that T side. And look, outside of a couple of big plays, it was a bit hit or miss. They were definitely running the clock down a lot on T side, so we'll see how it works for them. If I'm paiN Gaming, I honestly wouldn't even mind seeing them double AWP into the first round of CTOT because of how slow Imperial was playing, but they're only gonna go for the singular.
Chip damage onto PKL early. Not a huge amount of early map control being taken by Imperial. They're really working methodically through Fountain, into Party, having a look at bathrooms. biguz's been all alone in connector time and time again. Imperial will be well aware of that. He's
flash
super
over
isolated.
the top. That's beautiful. Zevy set him up for success.
Alone but not forgotten. 5 on 4 now. paiN, they would desperately love to get this first CT round just to equalize the scoreline. Might make life a little bit difficult for Imperial as well.
It's a good round from Zevy so far. Helping out biguz, getting one of his own fallen. Can't win the duel against biguz in connector, and that's the bomb hand delivered to the man who decides that he's going to just run up and grab that AWP.
Yeah, Vinny in all sorts of problems right now. The fire at his feet forcing him away. It's down to 1 HP, but realistically speaking, this should be a paiN Gaming round every day of the week.
Smoke into heaven for boltz. They're going to try and creep out Monster and hit some entries if possible. It's just full retake boost up from paiN Gaming. Spots the player on pillar. They're quite happy to give the side to Imperial here. They've got such a big numbers advantage that they can just set up for the retake.
Yeah, they are, but they're not going to make it easy for Imperial to get in there. Just a bit of a flash and how you going on the way in. But the bomb plant does inevitably go down, and now the 2 on 5 will ensue. Vinny cannot get it done against PKL, who was already low. Now it's boltz, and he would have needed an absolute miracle of a round to win that one. So the dream is still alive for paiN of winning this map here in OT1. Both teams can do it. 19 is the magic number we're looking for.
Would love to see the double AWP come out here for paiN. Just to mix things up a little bit more. We'll see what they end up going for though. Imperial again, slower pace from them. Taking their time moving through the map, but kind of getting picked apart by the connector player. Again, only the single AWP for paiN. They picked themselves up a couple of AKs for that one-tap potential as well. Just at the end of the round. Imperial with another 3-1-1. So going to go and take some party control and work that A side of the map.
Again, that slow progression through the map that we've been accustomed to from Imperial is out in force this round. biguz isolated again in the connector. We're seeing a lot of repetition in these rounds. This time though, biguz can't get much done.
Yeah, Imperial's isolated in there very, very well. Fallen's picked up Zevy. Once you get into this stage of OT, that's where the tendencies start to become a little bit more obvious for you. PKL in between a rock and a hard place. Almost triples up on a swivel.
Well done by Fur. If he drops there, that could well be the round over. Imperial started well. They want to finish well as well.
boltz is in another postcode, mate. boltz is on the B side. This is getting a little worrisome. He needs to go and help out old mate.
Double stack on the bathroom side. Bomb obviously planted for Imperial. Molly in means there's only one angle that the T's are going to peek from, but no smoke available for the defuse. A couple of kits. Now boltz has been spotted as well. Nade in front. The 1v1, that's what it comes down to, but Hard's going to have to sit that defuse in just a moment. He's got it in time. They found a smoke somewhere as well.
Yeah, he jumped for that smoke. He knew that that was there. That was definitely communicated, or he saw it. Retaking that A side, a smoke is the biggest tool that you can possibly have. The afterplant for the CTs can be a little bit of a nightmare without it.
Well, now only one team can win from this OT, and that is paiN Gaming. They got pushed to an OT by Wings Up. They won it. 1917 as well, if I believe correctly. Have a chance of doing it again. This time against Imperial.
This time Imperial going for that short B control. Gonna go for a lot of util invested on that B side, trying to draw out a reaction for paiN Gaming, and they have drawn out a lot of CT util. Aggression from Hard through the smoke. PKL spams one through the wall as well. That's gonna be a two-man advantage for paiN.
Uh-oh.
Not traded by Fallen either.
It's not looking good for Imperial anymore. 3 on 5. That's going to be a difficult hole to dig out of. Fallen will try to give himself the chance to do so, but paiN are not interested in taking any peeks, any info on short, and so Fallen will come away empty-handed. There's another one from Skullz onto boltz, who just popped his feet into Monster, and that was the mistake. 2 players left alive for Imperial. We're in the dying stages now of Overpass. This is paiN's map to lose.
Bombs that Monster. They haven't even gone and retrieved that.
Fallen really waiting patiently for this pick. It's the 2 legends of old. Fallen and Fur. Dynamic duo. They may not be able to pull this one off. It's just Fallen, and he's done. 1917, the scoreline on map 1 for paiN. Out with the old, in with the new. That's the mantra right now. paiN are very pleased to start the grand final with a map under their belt.